I'm Kita, and welcome to the Travel Becomes Me channel. I am a finance lawyer and author, and most importantly, and probably the reason why you're here, I'm a luxury travel enthusiast that has been to over 60 countries and overseas territories, and I teach you how to travel lux for less. So before we jump into today's topic, I'd love it if you hit subscribe so you can catch all of my latest videos when they come out, teaching you strategies and tools on how to travel lux for less. Okay, so let's get into today's topic. So there's been quite a bit of traffic on the internet about the CDC's new requirement to get tested before entering the United States. So this is a requirement to get a viral test, which has been defined as a virus amplification test or an antigen test, just to verify that you do not have COVID-19 before entering into the U.S. So I recently took a trip overseas in which I had a bit of a testing debacle. So I have some helpful strategies based upon some of the mistakes that I made so that you can hopefully avoid some of the things that happened to me. So first, you want very clear information about when are you going to get your test results. The new requirement for the U.S. is that you have to have the test result within 3 days, which can get really touchy, depending on what the lab's processing, depending on what the lab's processing backlog is. It could mean that your test comes after 3 days. So I've found that a couple of things. Testing sites that provide results within shorter periods of time or indicate that they provide results within shorter periods of time tend to get your result back to you faster, so you might want to look at those. Also, rapid testing tends to come back a little bit faster than PCR testing, although my preference is for PCR testing. So you might want to do that because that would qualify for the CDC requirement. And then third, you want to make sure that there's someone that you can follow up with, because some of these testing sites don't have very robust customer service follow-up platform. So it could be very nerve-wracking if you're trying to take a flight in a few days and you kind of don't know what's going on with your test. So that's number one. Number two, you want to try to do a little bit of research into whether or not your hotel provides or Airbnb provides information about places where you could be tested. If not, a good location to look things up is typically either the Department of Tourism, because many other countries already have this requirement, so they're kind of prepared for it, or on the National Health Ministry's website. They'll often list places where you can get tested because so many people are focused on the pandemic. Number three is make sure you carry your documentation with you. And I would suggest carrying it in paper format. Whereas this is probably less of an issue coming back into the US because your cell phone will probably have connectivity. When traveling to countries outside of the US, which many of them that are allowing Americans now require a negative COVID test before arrival, may not have Wi-Fi when you arrive. And so I had the experience of watching several passengers come off of the line, desperately trying to connect to Wi-Fi or the internet by turning on their phone because they didn't have a paper copy. So you don't want to be that person. It's easy to print out a paper copy if you don't have a printer at home. Go to an office supply store, get it printed out so that you don't have these kinds of issues when you arrive. Thing number four, and this is specific to luxury travel. So one of my favorite strategies for taking premium seats on airplanes is to upgrade, either using points and miles or cash, because the upgrades tend to be less expensive than buying an outright ticket. So It's important to remember, though, especially in light of COVID and maybe not getting um, your your test results back in time, requiring you to change your flight date, that you may very well change the date without penalty, but that doesn't mean that you get to hold on to your upgrade. So upgrades are only valid for the flight that you were supposed to take. So if you make an upgrade via cash or via points, and then you subsequently change your flight to another flight, then you were not going to be eligible for a refund of either that cash or those points, and you would have to make another purchase for an upgrade if it were available to you separately. So you want to wait until you're sure, in other words, you have your test results in hand before making those upgrades, so you don't lose your money or points. So that was it. That's all I wanted to share with you today. If you have any questions about this particular topic, or anything that you are interested about hearing more about in light of the pandemic and traveling during the pandemic, feel free to drop us a line. Thank you.